Today's April 19th, 2019, and this is episode 108 of PlaneSavers!
PlaneSavers!
What? Good morning, everybody. It is a marvelous day. The forecast isn't looking good. It looks like rain for the next, well, 48 hours, which would normally be a bad thing. But if you've seen yesterday's episode, there has been a Good Friday miracle. Yes, folks, look at this. We have the DC-3, I don't know if you can see with my shadow, in the hangar. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Whew. A huge thank you to École Nationale d'Aérotech, the best school in the world. It's Good Friday. It's a long weekend, 4-day weekend for students and teachers, and they decided to, help us out. It's really amazing. The hangar would be not used. It had a Learjet in it, or private jet. I don't actually know what kind of jet that is, but yeah. So they moved the jet out and gave us a spot for the weekend, which is awesome. And we're going to be spending a lot of time in there for the next couple episodes. But because it doesn't have wings on, it fits, and that's the reason why I said in a previous episode we're going to keep the wings off, and this is why. So before the volunteers and everyone shows up, let's just take a quick look. Look at that, folks. Isn't that insane? And yeah, I'm just super stoked. It's just so awesome that we have this opportunity. And hey, look, even something simple as a place to put the Tim Hortons. We spend $70 in Tim Hortons every morning. Donuts, coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and look, power. Power for my GoPro batteries. Little things that seem normal now are just monumentally huge for us. This is so cool. Before I forget, quick trivia question. Do you guys know what those two helicopters are? Let me know in the comments if you can guess what those are. So, today, we are Avionics Day. A lot of people in the comments have been talking about avionics. So I'm going to have my Tim Hortons. We're definitely not sponsored by Tim Hortons, but if anybody from Tim Hortons is watching, $70 a day times 50. What's 70 times 50? That's our Tim Hortons budget, and that's coming out of my pocket. So yeah, I'm just happy to make people happy. So hopefully this episode is pretty cool, because it's going to be hard to portray how excited I am through the magic of video. So let's get this day started. Okay, so while we're getting everything set up with the DC-3, Jean here is going to give us a tour of this amazing facility that we have access to, and to show you guys just how awesome this school is.
Hello you guys, I'm Jean Potvin. So we're going to do a quick tour of our facility. I'm the quality manager over here, and I think you're going to appreciate it. So we got a lot of aviation stuff in the Agora. The Agora, we have that old DC-8 and a glider there, which is unique. It comes from Germany actually, and we have the control tower that is used for the music. So we got the DG there on this specific between the training program, between the course when they got no training. So we put a DG there, and we got full of music over here.
And we got here, what's this?
What's this? Yeah, we have a client rock wall. Rock wall, eh? Yeah. The school is geared to receive 1,500 students per year, and we're now running at maybe half of it. So we are on the recruiting mode, very high. So what you see over here is regular laboratories. Yes, we use it for composite right now, but we can change the location of that. Please welcome the Baja room.
Ah, this is cool.
They're machining stuff, they're fixing things, adjusting their Baja.
Look at this, folks.
And it works. You can see two Baja. That's the one that which was in competition this year, and that will be the next one for the next year. So they have to rebuild the frame every 2 years. So if you go to the internet on the Baja compete, you're gonna have the rules, and you'll see that this is not very easy to achieve.
All right, look at this now. This is interesting. So what do we have here?
We build an aircraft and then we repair aircraft. This one is for the metal, the maintenance program that they have to, and they have to repair the fuselage, just like you do on the DC-3. So those guys gonna fix your DC-3 exactly the same as that Dash 100. We are now in the interior of the aircraft. As you can see, it's a naked airframe. So very easy to the students doing their works on the, you know, when you're bucking a rivet, you have to be on both sides. So they are in pairs of two, and one is outside and the other one is inside, and they're working for 2 hours fixing their patch.
So the one thing to point out is actually the nose of this aircraft is the Dash 8 100, and this part right here is the Q400, and here's the line right here, and you can see it from the inside. It almost matches. It's so close. That's a really good Bombardier product, made in Canada.
I'll tell you folks that we have a mini surprise over here. This is the first one.
Oh wow.
So this machine is made to make cockpits dash of the cockpits. So making holes, very perfect holes and very close to each other. So as an example, so we can cut any sheet just like that. The machine will cut the holes the way you want to. So you can easily recognize that these holes are for the instrument of the cockpit.
So folks, think of this. Think of having this in your garage. You're like, you know, you got your small airplane and you need to put in a different instrument. No problem. Just send this thing an email. The students here are extremely lucky to have this kind of equipment.
So folks, we are in the NDT room, which is non-destructive testing room. So we teach 2 methods over here. So I personally have the level 2 license, and what we're doing here is the LPI stuff. This is a fluo liquid penetrant stuff, goes in the indication and then make the indication bigger to get a high efficiency and very, very low loss of time. So I'm going to put the light, the black light on. Then we'll have a look over here. So we will dim the white light. So here's a crankshaft from a piston engine that was hit on the prop hit the ground. So you could not see any cracks, any indication on that. But if you look closely, oh, here we are. See? Oh, what we got here. See here? Very easy to find. 1, 2, and then it goes to 3 way, different way.
So non-destructive testing, NDT, is hyper important because when you're dealing with aircraft like the DC-3, parts haven't been made for a long time, and you don't actually know the condition of the part because was it on an aircraft, was it dropped, was it anything like that. So non-destructive testing is a way to test the product or piece, part, sheet metal, anything you want, to see if there's hidden cracks, corrosion, or anything that could jeopardize the structural integrity of the part. So it's a hugely important art here. So if anybody wants to get into that, so the CSI of airplanes, this is the place to do it.
Why did you're thinking, how could you think about it?
Okay, taking a quick break from the tour, checking out the airplane. Look at this. Look, still even put on a new flag. There's a lot of hustle and bustle going here.
Exactly.
Bobby's giving her.
How much would you spend in gas, right?
Everything's going just absolutely amazing. Look at the crew. We got Simon up there. Remember, folks, that is the reason why Stella and I went to AvGeeks to make sure we got the fire sleeve. We got everything going here. We got Nick and Pierre. Look at the hustle and bustle, folks. Look at all this. Nick saved the day. I put on Facebook earlier, AN4-32 bolts. Nick jumped in his car, went across the airstrip, got the bolts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick saved the day.
Again.
Every day Nick saves the day. If it's not Nick save the day, he stays at home. If we're doing good, Nick stays home. There's a problem, we call him, he shows up.
So I got to work on the DC3 for saving the day.
What are you working?
Reward.
What are you working on right now?
I'm cleaning out the electrical connectors on the firewall.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. I have to go inside all those terminals here and clean them and be careful not to remove material from the connectors themselves.
Okay guys, I am just continuously editing. Everybody's crazy busy on the airplane right now. Ronnie has got an update, some avionics update. Check this out.
This is one of the overhead instrument panels on the co-pilot side, removed from DTB. The avionics guys added some wires to it, to the cow plug, so we can splice it in. So that's what the avionics guys are doing right now.
Here.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
And Benoit's here with pizza. Yes. Tim Hortons, pizza, Domino's.
Try this one, Jason.
Merci beaucoup.
Try this one.
Oh, and some pop.
You gotta go super slow, huh?
On door duty. How's the door looking?
We're still wondering what's
Very
we're
slow.
gonna do. So
Oh, yeah.
apparently it doesn't fit. We'll make it fit.
So we're putting the new air stair door on. We got some students on here right now.
Good.
Now let's skip.
Working on the windows. A lot of hustle bustle.
It skips a bit.
Stella, how was the paint job on the other side?
Look at it.
You want to show us?
He's back to old glory and pride.
Yeah.
Canadian princess. Right there.
So what did you do?
Well, I first of all I took all that white paint off, and then I took whatever else was underneath, the graffiti and all kinds of weird stuff, and then I had my base, and then I marked it all off, and then I put the red lipstick on, and that's what happened.
Bobby. Is the
Good
GoPro bugging you?
afternoon. I think it's the afternoon. I'm finally using left-handed drills to take out these broken screws.
There you go, folks. The hundreds and hundreds of messages.
Yes, I listened. We read your comments, and I ordered left-handed drills and taps from Amazon. Next day delivery, right to my doorstep. Thank you.
Folks, isn't that crazy? Hustle and bustle, amazing work going on in the DC3. A huge thanks to the École Nationale d'Aérotech. Continue on the tour, folks. We got so much fun. I can't thank the school enough. It's just such an amazing facility, and we're going to be working all Easter weekend on the airplane. So let's go back to the tour and then come meet up with the airplane at the end of the day here and see how much stuff got done. So cool.
Want to have a look at the oven?
Oh yes, and what are these Dr. Octopus things here?
So we can even smoke over here, and it will be goes in that trunk.
Look at this. So this is a classroom?
Yeah, it is a classroom, but we call it hangars. This is for the adult people. So continuous training, military peoples, and maybe the company like Bombardier staff came over here to have additional training. So we are adjusting ourselves on that.
So this is like a really cool area, and something that the school is expanding into a lot is other companies. So companies anywhere in the world come in here, be it Boeing, Lockheed, anybody, military, private guys. You can come in here, bring your mechanics, set up your own ground school, and this is amazing. You bring in an airplane. You can bring a DC-3 in here with the wings off, and you can do a DC-3 ground school. So this is the kind of stuff that the school, if you're a company, not just a student, a company can contact them and rent this space out. And what better place to be than Montreal if you need to be anywhere. So this is very cool. So check them out.
Come on, folks. Let's see what we got over here. I think it's a number 3 surprise. So this is, we call it internally the PT6 room. Why? Because that room is only dedicated to the PT6 engine. The PT6 engine was built here in Montreal area, Longueuil, by Pratt & Whitney, maybe I should say 60 years ago. So the Beech 18 that we have in front of the school was, the purpose of that aircraft was to test the first PT6. So The aircraft had a nose like Pinocchio with a PT6 installed in it, testing the PT6 that was developed over here. So.
You see, folks, what this means is each student has their own PT6. So you sit here and you're not just looking at, an overhead projector. You're right next to your engine. So if you need anybody to learn PT6s, this is the place, and this is the birthplace of PT6 too. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Like, how lucky are these students? I've said that in my head about 1,000 times. Like, here's the engine right here, and it's not in a manual, it's right next to you. This is so cool.
Making sure that
Since we started in...
So, hey folks, we have a surprise, number 5. So please meet Kevin over here and Frank. So they are both students. Your turn.
Yeah, well, we're graduating
what
in
you're
the
doing.
semester. It's been fun. We do everything here from head to tail of the planes, instruments, engines,
hydraulics, like
everything.
controls.
It's really in depth, and it's a great school. You got it all.
So the number one thing is the cost.
Yes.
How much does it cost to go here?
Well,
On average, about 240
yeah,
bucks a
about
semester.
240 to around 300. I forgot exactly, but needless to say, thanks to the government.
It's your first semester essentially is your big expenses. So a lot of your textbooks, a lot of your coveralls, your boots, your glasses, and after that it's just upkeeping. There's no real associated cost apart from if you lose a textbook or something. But
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, and also we don't really come to school. We see it as going to work.
Yeah.
That's what one of our big guys, Sergio Rancourt, he tells us, is like, this is you going to work. So we don't come here learning, like, well, we still learn, but like we don't come here like going like to other schools. It's different. It's a different vibe.
We're motivated. We want to come to school every day. Say, what are we going to do today? We're going to take an engine off. We're going to do a hydraulic servicing, or what are we doing?
It's fun. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
$300, folks. $300.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've spent $300 at Boston Pizza? Like,
or $300 going out on
Yeah.
a Saturday night.
I could easily get an education. You look at the amount of engines and the crazy amount of stuff. Like, this is a classroom. Look at this. Look how many engines. And look, even a radial engine, folks. So we already blew a battery already on the GoPro. What percentage of the school have we seen so far?
1/3.
Yeah, because, well, you guys went through the Agora, the main area, been to the structural side, and now we're starting engines. We still have avionics. We still have, like, the welding of the AMO section stuff. We have even the...
prop overhaul.
Yeah, the prop overhaul section. We have hangars, which we have a lot of interesting planes. What else do we have? We also have, like, the CNC machines.
Yep.
We have all of the best of the best.
So, folks, I'm going to have to part 2 because I don't want to cut anything out. I kind of keep episodes around 13 minutes. So, and plus we got the airplane. So, very cool. So I'm going to cut it right here. This is part 1 of the tour, and then we can do part 2, part 3, part 4. And heck, I'm probably lost. This place is so big. So there'll be a search team looking for me. Okay, let's check back with the DC-3. Look at all these helicopters. Dude, if you want to learn about helicopters, there's like one of everything. Look, we got helicopter floats here. Very, very cool. So we're coming up. Things are winding down. We had a big day. Everything's going on. Bobby's working here on the tail. There was some just normal damage of flight controls. The famous wing here. Ronnie's doing his inspection on here. Everything is looking good, folks. Update on the wings. All looking good, but Ronnie doesn't want to give a thumbs up until he knows for sure. But while we're in here, we're doing all this. Engine, getting the new fire sleeve on from Aviol. That's still going good. Bobby is now became the teacher.
Chief, yeah.
We're full circle.
Hey,
$1 million man.
there's always something to learn about the guy who's been doing it longer than you. That's for sure. And when you have all the tricks of the old guys around, then you become the old guy.
Right on. So you guys went from classroom to DC-3 in the matter of...
Big difference. In a matter of hours.
Yesterday I was working on a Cessna, today I'm working on a DC-3. So.
Yeah.
So you guys been tasked at removing some windows?
Yeah, well, we had a bit of issues there in the back, but...
A lot of the bolts are rusted, so it's hard to sometimes get it off. So you guys have to cut them, drill them. When you try drilling it, drill breaks, and then you have to put a top in there and the top breaks. So you get to a point where you're like, just cut it off. And hope for the best so you don't destroy the interior in the process. But you know,
It came out good.
So inside looks a little scary, folks. Let's head over here to the tail where we've been on the phone with my brother Rod, and we have a plan. This is structurally the most heavy area. You see, we starts mapping out the repair, referencing the manuals, and looks like Yellowknife is going to build us a repair kit. More on that later. This is going to be one of the bigger issues in the later episodes. Like basically, no joke, a whole episode just on this and the whole thing. So right now, the trouble about filming everything is that everything is so spread out. And there's avionics, there's this. We haven't even talked about the avionics. Tomorrow, we'll make it an avionics day. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch, so much stuff, folks. So much stuff. 108 episodes every day for you. Whew. Thank you for joining us. I can cut today's episode. What are we at? 4:30, and I've been editing all day with the tour and this. It's been super fun, man. How many people today? We've probably had 10, 12 different people working on the project today, and this is how we can get it done. So that's where we're probably gonna end the episode. Stella, pizza. How was your day?
Exhausting as always.
Okay, folks, the avionics guys are going nuts, but we are still waiting for some switches that I ordered from Aviol and Yellowknife, as sometimes parts can be, you know, a delaying factor. But yeah, so that's where we're going to end the episode today. Make sure that you guys have a safe and good Friday, and we'll be seeing you next one bright and early tomorrow morning. So, see ya. Bye.